The news hit like a thunderclap. Manila sounds alarm. 41 Chinese vessels in the West Philippine Sea. At the Philippine Coast Guard headquarters, radars lit up with a fleet near Pagasa Island, our territory, our home. This wasn't a routine patrol. It was a chilling show of force. 41 ships, not just a few. The scale was unprecedented. The government sounded the alarm, warning the world our sovereignty was under direct threat. These weren't just fishing boats. There were Chinese Coast Guard cutters, Navy warships, and a swarm of maritime militia. The message was clear. China was escalating, testing our resolve. For years we've seen Chinese ships in our waters, but never like this. The presence of these vessels cast a shadow over our seas and our future. The government responded quickly, making the incursion public and demanding global attention. This was no longer about maps or legal claims. It was a real, present danger at our doorstep. The West Philippine Sea is more than water. It's our identity, our economy, our future. Every Filipino felt the weight of this moment. The world was watching, and the alarm had been sounded. The ship's arrival marked a turning point in a long, tense struggle. The combination of Coast Guard, Navy, and militia was a calculated show of power. The fragile peace in the region was shattered. The story was no longer just about territory. It was about survival. The nation braced for what would come next. The sea had never felt so contested. These 41 ships didn't just wander in. They were part of a coordinated operation. A Chinese Coast Guard cutter, a Navy corvette, and dozens of militia boats formed a blockade, making it impossible for our fishermen to work. This is China's strategy: overwhelm, intimidate, and establish control by sheer presence. The goal: to make their illegal claims a reality, normalizing their occupation over time. It's a creeping invasion. No shots fired, but sovereignty eroded. The Philippines faces a dilemma. How do you respond to an aggressor hiding behind civilian disguises? This escalation is a bold power play, signaling China's intent to dominate the South China Sea. The stakes are enormous: control of resources, shipping lanes, and our national future. For us, it's about food security, energy, and survival. The world sees the threat, but for Filipinos, it's personal. The alarm in Manila is not just about ships, it's about our right to exist as a nation. China's message is clear. They're willing to use their fleet to get what they want. The Philippines must respond with resolve and strategy. The future of our seas hangs in the balance. China's gray zone warfare blurs the line between peace and conflict. Instead of open war, they use intimidation, Coast Guard and militia harassing, blocking, and chasing away our vessels. These aren't ordinary fishermen. They're trained, state-backed, and coordinated. Their tactics: surround, block, and shadow our ships, creating fear and uncertainty. Water cannons, dangerous maneuvers, and acoustic attacks are routine. The goal is psychological: wear us down, make us accept their control. Each blocked mission, each chased fisherman, tightens China's grip. This is a silent invasion, slow, relentless, and hard to counter. But the Philippines is learning to fight back, exposing these tactics to the world. The battle is for our will as much as our waters. Picture your home's driveway, yours by law and tradition. Suddenly, a powerful neighbor parks dozens of cars there, claiming it's his, using an old, unofficial map. He blocks your way, ignores your legal documents, and refuses to move. That's what's happening in the West Philippine Sea. Our exclusive economic zone is like that driveway, legally ours, recognized by international law. China is the neighbor, using size and numbers to occupy what isn't theirs. Their ships and militia block us from our own waters, not with weapons, but with presence and intimidation. It's not a misunderstanding, it's a deliberate disregard for the law. The Philippines can't just give up. It's about rights, sovereignty, and survival. The world's rules are clear, but China chooses force over law. We must stand firm, demand respect, and defend what's ours. The driveway metaphor makes it simple. This is about justice, not just territory. The struggle is real, and the law is on our side. We need the world to see the truth. Our future depends on it. Our claim to the West Philippine Sea is anchored in international law. UNCLOS, the world's ocean constitution. It grants us an exclusive economic zone, 200 nautical miles from our shores. China's 9-dash line overlaps with our EEZ, based on vague, historic rights. The Philippines challenged this in 2013, taking China to the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague. In 2016, the tribunal ruled overwhelmingly in our favor. China's 9-line has no legal basis. The ruling confirmed our sovereign rights over the area. It's final, binding, and recognized globally. China rejects the decision, calling it waste paper, but the law stands. This ruling gives us the legal and moral high ground. Our protests aren't just complaints, they're defenses of a right affirmed by the world. The dispute is now about upholding international law, not just territory. When we stand up to China, we stand for the rule of law. The world knows the law is on our side. The Hague ruling is our shield. We must use it. This isn't just about ships and laws, it's about people. Filipino fishermen have worked these waters for generations, feeding families and the nation. Now fear rules the sea. Chinese ships chase them away, steal their catch, and block their way. Livelihoods are shattered. Debts mount as nets come back empty. Some give up fishing entirely, losing their only way of life. This is a direct attack on our most vulnerable. The West Philippine Sea is vital for our food security. When fishermen can't fish, prices rise and families suffer. The area also holds oil and gas that could power our future, but Chinese ships keep us out. This is about sovereignty and pride. Letting another country bully us in our own waters diminishes us all. The fishermen's struggle is the nation's struggle. Their fight for their livelihood is our fight for our rights. Their voices reveal the human cost of this conflict. We must listen and we must act. The sea is our heritage. We cannot let it be taken. China's incursion is a well-rehearsed, three-tiered strategy. First, the maritime militia, fishing boats in name, occupying space and blocking access. Second, the China Coast Guard, large, aggressive, enforcing China's claims with water cannons and dangerous maneuvers. Third, the Navy, warships lurking in the background, signaling military might. Each layer has a role: militia swarm, Coast Guard enforces, Navy intimidates. This system lets China escalate or dial back aggression as needed. It's not random, it's a coordinated national strategy. The goal: total control of the South China Sea. By combining these forces, China strangles our access without firing a shot. Understanding this is key to fighting back. The Philippines isn't backing down, we're fighting with transparency. Our Coast Guard and armed forces document every incident: photos, videos, evidence of harassment. We share this with the world, exposing China's actions. This strategy of light puts China on the defensive and rallies global support. Major news outlets broadcast the truth, making denial impossible. Alongside transparency, we filed diplomatic protests, building an official record of resistance. We're strengthening alliances with the US, Japan, Australia, and Europe. Joint patrols and exercises send a clear message. The government is upgrading our Navy and Coast Guard, investing in ships, radars, and surveillance. It's not about war, it's about credible deterrence. A stronger defense protects our fishermen and our sovereignty. Manila's response: shine a light, build alliances, and stand our ground. The world is seeing the truth. We are not alone. Our strategy is working. The fight continues. January 18, 2026, the West Philippine Sea stands at a crossroads. Three futures are possible: escalation and conflict, de-escalation and dialogue, or a tense status quo. Escalation risks disaster for the region and the world. Dialogue and international pressure could bring peace and shared prosperity. The status quo means constant struggle but no surrender of our rights. What happens here matters globally. It's a test of whether laws or brute force will shape the future. The 41 ships are more than a fleet. They're a symbol of this choice. The world is watching how we respond. Our actions will help decide the world our children inherit. The fight for the West Philippine Sea is a fight for the rule of law itself.